Hi, I'm Isla Stieber, and today we are going to talk to Dr. Allen, a research marine biologist from the NOAA, to learn about the amazing Hawksbill Sea Turtle. So let's get started. Hi,
Hey, how are you?
good. I have a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, what's what's your typical day like studying Hawksbill Sea Turtles as a marine biologist for the NOAA?
Our days are varied, but for the most part, I sit at a computer all day. But a couple weeks out of the year, I get to go into the field and we do a lot of snorkel surveys where we get in the water and we snorkel a certain distance along the coast and we look for hawksbill turtles. And if we see them, then we catch them and we bring them onto the boat and we measure them and give them permanent IDs and take facial photos of them to help ID them in the future, and sometimes collect samples for laboratory analyses. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Have you seen any people swimming in there?
Have we seen people swimming while we're doing our surveys?
Like baby turtles or baby Hawksbill sea turtles.
Oh, no, we usually do not. So, in the Pacific Islands region where I work, which is the Hawaiian Archipelago, the Marianas Archipelago, where Guam and the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands are, and then the American Samoan region. There isn't a lot of hawksbill nesting in those areas, so we don't get to see the hatchlings very often when we're doing our surveys.
Because they're going like extinct or they're really endangered. So the nesting hubs are starting to go away.
Yeah, so Pacific Islands region hawksbills, there's not a lot of them. They are endangered. So the Hawaiian archipelago actually has the largest number of hawksbills, but we're talking about like 100 nesting females in the whole population. So it's very small. So it's limited in the number of interactions you might have with them on the nesting beach, seeing them lay their eggs, and they only nest on certain islands. So on Hawaii Island and Maui Island.
Another question is, how do you and the NOAA help in conservation towards the Hawksbill sea turtles?
Yeah, so the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is a federal agency. So we work for the federal government and we're federal employees. So the taxpayers pay our salaries to do the work. And we do this work because there's a mandate called the Endangered Species Act, which requires us to do research to make sure that the turtles persist into the future. So we do our research because of that Endangered Species Act. And what do we do? Um, so on, so I work for the Science Center, so I'm a scientist. We do research studies to provide data to the people who are the managers who write the policies to protect the turtles. So, for example, there are limits on the number of turtles that can be caught by the commercial fisheries in the United States. So the NOAA policy side of the house will write the number of turtles that can be caught to prevent any future decrease in the number of hawksbill turtles. That's an example.
Thank you. How can you tell the difference between a Hawksbill sea turtle and other sea turtles?
Yeah, so I actually thought this question might be coming, so I got a hawksbill with me. Let me get it closer. So you can
Is that
see
like
the
a real?
beak.
Is that like a real one, but
Yeah, it's a
people
real one.
kept it and like, oh, that's so cute. I can see all
Yeah,
of like the beak, and
yeah.
if you put it a little bit farther, I think I might be able to see the scutes or the overlapping scutes, Or maybe
Yeah.
the two
If you look at the
claws.
head too, they have one, two, three, four scales at the front of their face in between the eyes. So that's another way you can tell. And then if you pull the scoots back, you can see the overlapping scoots right here.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And they have a little bit of like serration on the edges too when they're little. And you won't be able to see it here, but if you're up close to a hawksbill, they have two claws on each flipper, whereas green sea turtles only have one.
Yeah, I've heard that a
Mhm.
lot, especially when I'm like searching up things.
Yeah.
Um, and why are the Hawksbill sea turtles critically endangered?
Okay. So critically endangered is something that's it's under the endangered the IUCN Red List. So in under the Endangered Species Act, we only use endangered, not critically endangered. So there's a distinction there. So within NOAA, we're under the Endangered Species Act. So for us, they're just endangered. But why are they endangered?
Yeah.
It's a lot of threats usually. So in the past, there was a lot of turtle use by people internationally. And by use, it could be consumption of eggs, harvest of adults, capture of other immature or adult turtles in the water, and they're used by humans. Fishing interactions is another big issue for sea turtles, and another major one is climate change right now. So there's a lot of impacts onto turtles because of climate change. So it can be increasing temperatures on nesting beaches or hurricanes destroying nesting beaches or obliterating foraging habitats. So it's mainly due to threats. That's generally why sea turtles are endangered or critically endangered.
Um, how does global warming affect the Hawksbill sea turtles?
Yeah, so we've been investigating those impacts on turtles for quite a while. And one way that global warming can impact turtles is by increasing the temperature of the sand where the eggs are laid. So sea turtles don't have sex chromosomes to determine their sex like humans do. It's actually the temperature of the eggs when they're incubating that determines the sex. So if there are warmer temperatures, more females are produced. And if the temperatures get too warm, then you have embryonic death. So we're trying to figure out if the nest temperatures are too warm already, causing too many females to be born, and if the temperatures are too hot, causing embryonic death. Yeah.
That's cool. If I get a Hawksbill sea turtle, I'm gonna try that.
You can't have it as a pet. That's one of
I
the reasons why
know.
they're getting endangered.
I wish I could. Have you personally witnessed how pollution affects Hawksbill sea turtles?
Yeah, I have. One of the main causes or threats to sea turtles in the Hawaiian archipelago right now, or in the main Hawaiian Islands, is fishing line entanglement. And so we're seeing a lot of fishing line and fishing gear in the reefs, and the turtles are getting caught in it, and it's causing them to either lose their lives or to lose flippers. So that's one of the main pollution areas that we're seeing that are causing a problem for turtles in our region. What are you expecting
Um,
that answer?
not really.
Okay.
Sad, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's really sad.
Mm-hmm. How close do Hawksbill sea turtles get to humans, and should there be a distance between us?
So we recommend 10 feet that you should stay away from turtles so that they can go out their normal behaviors. So if you think about it, um, you probably don't like people getting up in your face to take photos of you that you don't know, right? So we feel the same way for turtles that you can take a photo of them from a distance and still get a really good photo. So we recommend that people stay about 10 feet away. However, if you are snorkeling in the ocean, turtles can be curious and they can come up to you themselves. And if they do that, you haven't done anything wrong. But under the Endangered Species Act, because they are endangered or threatened, you're not supposed to touch them. So we recommend that if they come close to you, that just hold still and wait for them to leave, or try to get about 10 feet away so that they can do their typical behaviors.
Hey, what can we as a society do to help the Hawksbill Sea Turtle?
Well, I would like to put this back on you. What do you think you can do?
Hmm. Um, I mean, it's kind of like you said already, like staying 10 feet away, maybe like trying to, like, the reason I'm, and one reason is, like, the reason I'm doing this is to, like, help for, like, everyone maybe watching this to know that Hawksbill sea turtles are special and to not, like, try and kill them and to.
Yeah, you're exactly correct. Hawksbill sea turtles are very special, and they are one of the m most endangered sea turtle species. So there's 7 species in the world, and the hawksbill is one of the most endangered, along with the leatherbacks. And in particular, hawksbills in Hawaii uh, are very culturally important. Many of the turtles in Hawaii are considered um, non-human relatives, and they really revere them as like a part of their family. So Hawaiian hawksbills are also genetically distinct from any other population in the world. So they are very special and very integral to Hawaii themselves. So within the state of Hawaii, there is a big effort to um, try to reduce the amount of plastic that people use. So, for example, not using plastic straws, taking reusable bags to the grocery store so you don't get plastic bags. Um, Other ways you can reduce your impact on the environment is walk more, use public transportation more, um, use vehicles that don't require petrol or gas. I personally have a reusable water bottle that I have every day, so I'm not using plastic bottles. Um, Otherwise, one good thing that you could do if you're in an area where sea turtles lay their eggs is turn your lights off at night, because turtles get disorientated by the lights when they're nesting or when the hatchlings emerge from the nests, and they will orientate towards the lights on the beach rather than going towards the ocean. So that's one thing that you could do. If you're not able to turn off your lights, you can use a red light instead of a white light, because turtles will not as readily go towards the red light as they do the white light.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, thank you so much, Dr. Allen, for taking the time to educate us about the Hawksbill sea turtles.
You're so welcome. I'm glad you were interested.
Thank you.